So here we go again. So so I'm just looking at all of the overhype that Elden Rings got and how many hypocrites I see in the gaming world, in the gaming space. Like I said, I don't take these gamers actually seriously anymore because they're biased, especially when it comes to something with Sony. They will purposely try to ruin Sony's games like they did with The Last of Us. And pretty much it kind of exposed that everybody that kind of showed me how the anti SJW crowd, how they rock and how they was all about views and clicks. When they didn't leave it alone, I didn't understand that they was pushing it in somebody's profit. Half of the people was not fans of The Last of Us. I would trust a Last of Us a Last of Us fan to spoil the game and tell me, a Last of Us fan, that the game sucked and it had SJW agenda in it. But I would trust their words because they would tell me about the gameplay. Now the gameplay in Last of Us Part 2, I loved it. But the story, I hated it. And it had nothing to do with just Joel dying. It had everything to do with the fact that they gave me a character that I didn't care about. She was unlikable, and I don't know why I couldn't play with Ellie the whole game. You introduced the character in a second game that killed a good character like Joel and thought that was a good idea. This is why, even now, what, 2 years after, or at least a year? No, 2 years after, they're taking a long time putting out that multiplayer because they don't know if it's gonna make Sony money, and Sony want their money back that they put into The Last of Us. This is the reason why Neil Cuckman is putting out that show because he thinks it's gonna bring up the revenue that they lost from The Last of Us. I know how they rock. I know what they're doing. They're trying to get the interest back for Sony in order to cash out to get the money that Sony paid them for The Last of Us Part 2. Because The Last of Us Part 2 was supposed to exceed about at least 20 million. 20 million, 20 million. And it was supposed to grow over the last 2 years. It didn't grow. You don't hear about sales numbers for The Last of Us 2. You don't hear about it's growing. You don't hear about it's growing. What you do hear about is them talking about multiplayer. So it's kind of like this. It started in 2020 for me, but I've been knew this was growing because I knew what the gaming landscape was about. What, at least 2006 or 2007, where you was going to get a whole bunch of casual gamers who don't like video games, who they need a crowd of people to tell them how good a game is, or they need a crowd of people to make their game better than the games that everybody else like. So we had Cyberpunk, and Cyberpunk was a disaster. It couldn't play. It was missing a whole bunch of features. The world was dead, and it took them a year to put in simple things that every other open world had. But for some reason, the CD Project Red fans, stands, praised it and say, well, they worked on the game. What? They worked on a game that they lied for almost 8 years about, taking shots at every other company talking about how they're better than every other company, and you forgot that with one update. That showed me just how these guys suck off a company, right? My Sony loyalty goes with the fact is I was a fan of Sony ever since the PlayStation 2. I was a small fan of the PlayStation 1. But as people know, I think before PlayStation 2 or even after the PlayStation 2 came out, Dreamcast was still out. Dreamcast failed. It was the last console that Sega ever made. After Dreamcast died, I jumped over to Sony. I didn't like Xbox. You know why? Because it reminds me of a Dreamcast controller. And the design never stopped. The design never changed from looking like a Dreamcast controller. So I don't play Xbox because I don't like their control designs. But I don't like the fact that they don't put no work into their games either. But let's not talk about that. Okay. Cyberpunk came out and the CD Projekt Red standboys and PC players decided to take shots at console players and said, why don't you play this inferior game on a PC? Even though that would have never made the game any better. The internals of the game did not play any better on a PC than it on a console. It just on a console, it ran like crap. And had a whole bunch of hot fixes and everything else. And the game, a year later, still don't have the fundamentals that they lied to people about. The life paths are not still in the game. But you got hype over some AI differences and all this other crap that you put in the game. Don't care. That was the worst game that I ever bought in my entire life. Worst game. It's next to Haze. Haze. I forgot which one. Haze, Devil May Cry 2. Haze, Devil May Cry 2, Resident Evil 6, and I forgot the last one. But Cyberpunk is the worst game that I ever bought in my entire gaming life. And this is from me being 4 years old to me being in my 30s now. That says a lot about how bad Cyberpunk was. And I wasn't jumping for the hype. I didn't follow the hype. It was a game that I got. Remember, it was 2020. There was a lot of suffering on both ends. Content was real slow. Games were slow. There was no TV shows. There wasn't a lot of movies out. There was absolutely nothing. So that was a good time to get new games. Lucky I was saved when I played what that game called? Miles Morales. When I got Miles Morales, that's what saved me. I was like, whoa, thank God I got Miles Morales. And I didn't have to settle for cyber trash. So, we got Cyberpunk. Everybody was making excuses for Cyberpunk. And then you had things like this happening. So, I'm supposed to trust the same Metacritic that was review bombing Horizon Forbidden West, a Sony game. See, I'm starting to see the Sony hate that a lot of people are on because they're mad because Sony does Sony fans great. Sony fans, we're a niche. We're against Xbox fans, Game Pass, and PC players. You got PC players begging for our games to be on PC, all the while talking about how our games are simulated cinematics. But when God of War came on the PC, they was clapping their hands like seals. Yes, yes, it's gonna play it's gonna play the great game. Oh my god, I wanna play this. It's funny that PC players are talking about how, what they say? Because they say a lot of shit, call themselves the master race. These are the same people who say that they want to share games. And all gaming consoles, Sony don't share their games and they should share their games. But these are the same people who play 20-year-old games, break consoles, jailbait consoles, and pay pay a cheaper price for video games and they don't support gaming studios. I'm talking about ones with good quality. They steal games, they pirate games, and they jailbreak PlayStation consoles and steal from them. But Sony is supposed to lose profit for a bunch of players who don't play video games, who have 100 games as backlog, but they always jumping into conversations about frame rates and resolution. Everything's about frame rates and resolution. But you have a whole bunch of back catalog of games that you never played. So, let's read about a week ago that Forbidden West was being review bombed. Guerrilla Games, blah, 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 is being review bombed on Metacritic. It's been a week. Blah, 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 blah. It's a beautiful world, blah, blah, blah. It's currently at an impressive 88 on Metacritic. However, some of the blah, blah, blah are less enthusiastic about the antics that's been pouring in. So, been by the viewers, it's been taken to be review bombing in the recent. This is a phenomenon has become increasingly common following the release of an anti-anticipated, critically acclaimed games. A few weeks, for example, Dying Light 2 was targeted by people attempting to lower the score as well, while plenty of players have justified criticism regarding the Alo's fallout, blah, 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 the negativity, blah, blah, blah. So, they're review bombing because of her appearance. Not about the gameplay. They are review bombing because The Last of Us. This is one site. Technical capabilities. But wow, Elden Rings got technical issues on PC, but it didn't lower the score. Wow, whoa. So let's see. Let's see. Let's see. While most games are praising on Horizon and leaving negative reviews, here's why. Okay, let's see. Blah, blah, blah. The scores dipped to a 60 out of 100. All over the place. So, now it's claimed that players who have left negative reviews are trolls. Instead, they take a look at the reviews. Forbidden West, preload controversy, The Last of Us Fallout. Whoa. What does Forbidden West have to do with The Last of Us Part 2? See, this is what I'm talking about when it comes down to this gaming shit. When it comes down to these fucking weirdos. Because I am going to call them that. Because they are. So you attach every Sony game together. But you don't want to do that for Elden Rings. Elden Rings don't look good as a game. But for some reason, you're praising it because you're saying it does look good and all this other stuff. So let's go right here, right? At the same time, I'm trying to look at videos, and then I'm gonna jump to YouTube, and I'm gonna show you people who bash other games, but they don't bash. They're not bashing Elden Rings. That's the funny part. They're not bashing Elden Rings like they do every other game that is so-called broken on launch, right? People can't play this on their PCs, and sometimes it's freezing their PCs and everything else. But for some reason, the same people who got smoked for other games being badly technical sound, they don't have the same smoke for Elden Rings. And I'm going to show you a lot of different people who have this kind of opinion. But, okay. Sony, and they try to make a female character look masculine. Oh, wow. That's, So, you got SJWs that are probably paid off by another company, gaming company, to downvote a game because about Aloy and the way she looks. Not how it plays, but how she looks. Wow. So, we don't hold every game to the same standards. We just make up the rules because we want to make up the rules. So, let me I'm on this gamer right here. I got it the like. This guy has no videos about how bad Elden Rings runs on the PC. But beforehand, he has videos about every other game being broken. So, let me go through this. So, basically, just a week ago, Horizon Forbidden West got review bombed for stupid reasons. So that means that Metacritic is not credible at all. And these reviewers are not credible at all if they're never going to point out Elden Ring's faults. Only person that I respect in the gaming sphere is AGC. He's a PC bias guy. But at least he was fair when he said he recommends that you wait to buy it. Because the bad performance. Everybody else who got problem with every other game coming out broken will come out and bash a game being broken. But then when their precious Elden Rings come out, they don't have the same kind of videos showing about the game. Now let me show you one of the games. Well, let me show you this hypocrisy of Forbidden of Metacritic. Now, this is PlayStation 5. Here we go. It fails to live up its predecessors in every way. While its world and mechanics are stunning, I'm confused. The game design, the dialogue, design choices in favors of Aloy New Adventure. I'm not gonna read all this. Stupid camera position ruined the game and put the center of the character. So you get to make up your stupid reasons on this thing. This is why I said how, the Gamergate stuff that happened. This is how I say that the video game industry isn't, it's corrupt as hell. And everybody already talked about this, but I'm showing you proof that it's corrupt as hell. So every little reason they got. Okay, let's look at the two things, right? Forbidden West has 82 and 88. And this one has 91 and 7.7. Now let's see of the people who are reviewing it. Now let's see. Playing on the PS5 was slightly better than, but if the pop-in is still a big issue. Console is far from it, but it's fun. Skill set mess, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Now let me show you. Let me show you. So, gotta see that prank video.
Ever wondered if the person filing your taxes is the best person for the job? Find the tax expert that's right for you. Try TurboTax Live. Whether you're a salary...
So, this YouTuber right here is a guy who he bashes every single modern game. Every game that's coming out that's modern, he bashes it. Because he thinks he stays in the past. Like, past video games were so better than the future games. Now, I will admit that a lot of newer games they hold your hands too much. They do. But at the same time, you have to know what you get from certain companies. And you know they're not going to make a good game. This is why you select the right company to buy games from. You get what you want. And you know what you're going to get from that studio. But this guy has a catalog of bashing every single game that comes out. Every single game that comes out, he calls it bad. Now recently, just today, I seen his fans turn on him. Now, there was a big blow up in his comment section that I was a part of. And then they used the whole grammar crap like they always do. And if I could translate someone's in another language, you can pretty much understand my grammar. For me being on WhatsApp and trying to understand somebody's broken English on WhatsApp, you can understand my complete English without parentheses and comments and everything else. But these people, they want to throw it around and say, well, you're not making complete sentence, so I won't really comment on you. I won't do that because I'm a stuck-up nerd. Okay, whatever you say. Okay, you don't understand me. Whatever, fine, right? Like I said, I can understand people from other countries who don't have some good, they don't know how to write good, but I understand what they're saying. But somehow, some way, I can communicate with them, but somebody who say they smarter than me can't put the pieces together. Oh, okay, sure. We're all using acronyms and stuff like that. We don't use full sentence nowadays in text messages all the time. But hey, you have to finish and you complete sentences, everything else when you put full text messages. When you're texting real fast, you're doing whole complete sentences instead of acronyms. Okay, sure. So this guy, he decides
His name is
to talk about Dying Light. Techland is middleware, at least anymore. Dying Light even Island was successful and have a triple A budget for this game. They removed the loopy from this game. Last night I broke the game getting stuck on Haran balls. Dying Light 1 is the game that basically exists pure on the mints of alone. The story was bland. I personally love this game. I understand why people don't like it. The most disappointing part was no improvement of the zombies. Yes, they did put the improvement of the zombies, but hey, sure, they try to explain. Oh yeah, and these are the same people who are Elden Ring fans. They did everything they could in the story to tell you about how the zombies evolved and how most of them are slow in the daytime, and it reflects them by them burning. It shows you how dangerous they are at night. Because I remember one time when I went out at night, I went to a store. I went to a forbidden store, and I wanted to get some resources. They piled on me because the moon wasn't out. It was actually really dark. See, one thing they're not talking about how that is how the moon reflection, it reflects it and makes it look daytime. And you got to watch out for howlers, and they place howlers in front of doors and everything else, and you got to find your way around it or kill it, right? I got caught by a howler and I had to go straight into the place. I was very underprepared because then they had different types of zombies spitting acid at me, and I didn't have the right weapons to kill them from across there. So I had to jump over and over. Then I saw goons inside of the place and they was running around, and I'm like, what the man? I'm out of here. But people keep talking about Dying Light 1. I'm not a bootlegger, but unconventional refreshing. A big fan of the game. I personally like despite its faults. Honestly, as someone a big fan of the first, is lacking in a lot of areas. I want to see new things in games. Triple H, yes. Blah blah blah. Both is better. What sucks is compared to the new game. I mean the first game. First game had repair system and guns along with the live game drops. It matters a lot. Techland is an independent studio. It's amazing that they did both games, and it's amazing. Okay. Look, okay. So as you see his ratio. Oh, you can't see his dislike, my bad. I got the ratio. I got the ratio on my laptop, which I'm gonna look at. So he had 4,900K likes. So got too much stuff going on. It's never this slow. So they really don't like. This is the thing. This is the funny joke. This is the funny joke right here, right? When he's talking trash about everybody's game, they're right behind him, right? They're right behind him. But versus Elden Rings, watch what happens when they turn against him. So he got just about the same views, the same likes on. Oh no. He got 1,800 dislikes. So on his Elden Rings, he has 2K likes and 2K.600K dislikes. Now, they didn't have a problem. Nobody point out his bias and how he's a negative person. Now I'm going to go through some comments. Now nobody says that he's a negative person. You are one of the reviews that tell it like it is and correct the boy and point it out. Oh, he's one of the reviews that point everything out. I was hoping you missed the repair system. Had a lot of fun. Blah 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 blah. Blah 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 blah. Blah 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 blah. Here we go. They don't point out the fact that this dude is he's all about negativity. Now look. They agree with him. Some saying they like the game and they taking his criticisms. And here we go. But nobody points out the fact that this guy, okay, it's actually sad to see that most of this guy's reviews are negative. Okay. I see your point, but a lot of games are disappointing. Okay. His standard is high for me. You can give me a phone with crusty blah 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 because it's true. Oh, so now he got three things that agree with him. They pointed out, but he don't has a lot of likes. Now, let's see who else points out the fact that he is just negative all the time. Okay, they didn't do it. But let's go to his Elden Rings. Let's go to the Elden Rings and look how biased these people really are towards a game that they like, but they won't call it out like they do other games. So, let's go right here. My favorite part of this game is that the NPCs and quests are more complex and compared to older titles. The open world of nature of Elden Rings is discovering secrets within the community about its very enjoyment. Especially since the game just came out a week ago. Wow. Like other games don't have a system where you gotta find different morsels in different parts of the world. That you could actually turn off the indicators sometimes in those games. But somehow this game is doing it great. So, now, this is the guy who tried to insult me for my grammar. Now, as a YouTuber, I want to like, but yet 90% of his 90%, literally 90%, I see from his negative and clickbaits for his videos. I respect him for speaking his mind. I respect him for speaking his mind. Wait. I respect him for speaking his mind, even if I disagree with a lot of his statements on his videos. He just kind of feels like he is a contrarian hack that seemingly wants to bitch and moan because that's what gets views. I wish he could actually do some scripted work. Actually finish the damn game before making the video. Within the same day. 5 different comments trying to defend and wrinkling, blah, blah, blah. And seriously, man, write a goddamn essay in a comment. Defend yourself. Blah, 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 blah. I totally agree. He had 239 comments. Totally agree. Damn, you don't have to like him like that. But I think you're right. This comment is right there. This guy is stuck in an old game mindset, or better, and new games are shit. He's too negative. Like, you can enjoy a game for looking for the things that you don't like about. He complained about politics in games. Politics in games when, playing about politics in games when that's always been a thing. No, it wasn't. There were small politics in games. They didn't put it in your face and try to make it the stuff that's on now. It wasn't like that. It's pushed in every single thing. This is the reason why people don't like comic books now. I used to love his content. Well, he used to like his content, right? This is what I'm talking about. When you're talking about the games that they like and you talking negative about it, guess what happens? These guys turn on you. But they like when you're talking trash about Sony or talking trash about Red Dead Redemption. But they don't like when you talk about their beautiful Elden Rings. I feel like he, regardless of blah blah blah, not to mention he consistently make comfortable jokes about GAY and black people. That's not even funny. 100% to begin with. Gotta say, it needs to be said, but thank you for understanding. I particularly with your argument, just YouTube impossible. Make good points. Blah 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 blah. I understand where you're coming from. He one of the biggest issues with his with his lack of script. So I said this. It's funny. When he was bashing other games, it was fun. Now he bashing the so-called God game Elden Rings. Now you see what he's all about. He shits on every game because he's stuck in the past. But when we all knew this when he was bashing everyone's favorite game. Now it's your turn, and I see you don't like it very much. I would love to argue with you, but you don't have sittings. And also, I never cared about Civic the Bad. I watched the video casually. And blah, blah, blah. I correct. That's the why I hate this channel. He's a negative person and Ramsey, blah, blah, blah. They pointed out when he is talking about his games. Now, I'm going to find many negative comments that he's talking about. Now, let me paste and click this. Pela não são liberala. Me conto mirate. O bicho na batida. B. Kio. Do. Shit. My bad. So, let me hate you. Let me hate you from me to you. About to. Okay. I see your point. How much about blah. Besides the bugs, my complaint is that the game is stringing with the tenants. Okay. Take your this to each his own. Personally, I like the gimmick bosses. Blah blah. Reminds me of fighting of evolution of fighting games. Okay, I feel you. I'm exploring the world. The game is great, and which is much needed. It has some repetitive, but it's still great. Wow. See, they don't want to talk about their precious Elden Rings. I'm dumbfounded coming back to the internet, sinking in at least 60 hours into this masterpiece to find negative reviews and comments. This is the best entry in the From catalog yet. The best of 2022 so far. I consistently in awe and great in the ages of video games. Wow. Wow. This is my game of all time. They have lost the sense of fun. They stuck to Marvel movies. You talking about Halo franchise. Look at this, man. Looks born another edge and sword game. What games you play? In the 40 years of gaming for me, the exploration in music is my intention. To each his own. It's full. It's not. It's full exploration and adventures and mystery. It's J.R.R. Martin some wonderful stuff. Look at this, man, and this is what I'm talking about. And I had to call these people out, and I'm like, wait. You know, there's other games out there that's actually harder, right? That guys like you never played. And you're talking about exploration and all this other stuff that because they took away. These games take away the hubs and they make you just search in the world for quests and stuff while you're fighting enemies. That can be done for every single game. But you're looking in a world with no NPCs, is boring and none of that stuff. And then when you finally get it, when you finally figure out that they didn't make this world as advanced as you guys wanted to be, then you go back to trashing other people's games. Like it did Forbidden West. Live up to the heights, playing on players and not having performance issues. It's poorly built episode. Night wasn't blah blah blah. The features of Soul games. Even though I agree with, but I'm a bit of the criticism, having a bunch of fun with it. Besides my bullies, I adore the game and it's amazing. This is so effing hard. However, you need to use the more blah 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 blah. These are the same people who would talk shit about Red Dead Redemption when it came out, saying it was a horse simulator. And when people were saying how they liked it and it was the best game of all time, they started giving them the criticism. This is what happens when you got a whole bunch of fake ass gamers in the gaming space who all followers, and they grab onto something like a Souls game and they are in a high number. Now let's see that Souls, let's see how much Souls, how much they made. Because somehow, some way, they act like they're part of an exclusive club of gamers who can beat games better than anybody else. Okay. Shit. Let's Dark Souls sales. It sold 27 million. 27 million. 10 million. So 27 million people only played this game, and they think they're part of exclusive clubs because they played Dark Souls games. But let's see another hard game that these pieces of crap never played. Onimusha sales. No, not shoes, you moron. $8 million. 8.3 million. Okay, let's see. Cuphead. $6 million. Because that was a difficult game too. Let's see. So Edge. I mean, no. What's that game called? What is it called? What is it called? Cross Edge. Cross Edge. Which I don't even know if they. Let's see what they have. It's a PS3 game, mind you. Okay. They gave it pretty shitty reviews because the game was hard. And it did bad in sales. So there's many other games out here that these Soul fanboys or these Elden Ring fanboys never played. But for some reason they're praising a hard game like they never played any hard game. Right? This is what happened with casuals think that they are part of an exclusive club. But they're not. Let's see. Devil May Cry 3 is hard. Let's talk about that. So let's see. We was discussing about how hard Devil May Cry is. It's a bit. Devil May Cry is just hard. It's your first time. You're just bad. Blah blah blah. All remembering the enemy patterns and service is the hardest boss for sure. So we never bragged about how hard Devil May Cry 3 was. Because Devil May Cry 3, it was a It was the game was it was a I'm sorry to fans for putting that shit game out from PS2. The PS2 version of the Devil May Cry 2 was suck. It was ass. They gave us Devil May Cry 3. And everybody who mastered Devil May Cry 1, because I played the crap out of Devil May Cry 1 and played it on hard. We was rewarded with Devil May Cry 3. So Devil May Cry 3, normal is hard. Hard is even harder. I didn't remember people just, praising Devil May Cry 3 and saying it's the best beat 'em up game of all time. See, you have to change your words. Elden Rings is not the best game of all time. Elden Rings is the best niche game of all time because it's not going to dwarf in sales above all the other games. Now, if you said a niche game of all time, I can respect that. But don't try to say that every one of us should play it. Then we got gaming communism that I see that telling everybody to go out and buy Elden Rings. Or insulting people because they don't want to play Elden Rings and oh yeah, you don't know how to play video games. Then you got people, fake gamers, who sit back and say I was playing games all my life and this is the biggest and more expensive game that I ever played in my entire life. And then I named a few games back then that was real hard, and I said, did you play these games? And they're like, why would I play those games? I'm like, well, those are JRPGs. Souls is from a JRPG person. It's not an American made stuff. So you're praising JRPGs, but you don't have experience in JRPGs? Most JRPGs are hard. And you have to dump in a whole bunch of time in it. But so Elden Rings exposed the hypocrites that are in the gaming space, praising one game and shitting on all the other games. So when the Elden Rings hype go down, they're gonna go back to going in comment sections, bashing other people's favorite games, saying how boring it is, how corny it is, how this and this and that. And they're going to go into review bombing games because they don't like the game or the character inside the game. And they never praise the game for what it does good. So let's go to a hypocrite YouTuber. Because, let's get another hypocrite YouTuber who say things like the game is broken.
Hi, I'm Rue. I would love to present you with a business opportunity. Okay. No.
So, we have a biased person who says he cares about the gaming. He cares about gaming as a whole. But he's not talking about the performance. But every single video, he will talk about how bad a game is. Now, let's count how many Elden Ring videos, tutorial videos he have compared to the games he said are bad. See, he never does this type of other stuff for games that other people like. He never put any kind of tutorials out or skill trees or anything out. But his favorite press is Elden Ring, showing his bias. Okay, let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 videos, positive videos, telling you how to play the game. Giving class systems, how to build your stuff. But he doesn't do the same thing for Battlefield, which Battlefield's a shit game, but he doesn't have the same thing for it. Every card in Legends. Now, he talks bad about Battlefield. 16. He talks good about a game called Grind Legends. bad. He talks about how bad Battlefield is. Now he talks about this. How bad. Oh no, 17, 18, 18, 19, 20. 20 videos that are positive about Elden Rings, but not, he has no videos about the PC performance and the PlayStation performance and how the next generation version is worse than the last generation version. But hey, he can make a whole bunch of videos about Battlefield and how bad it is and how he cares about the gaming community. About Cyberpunk, which is deserved. About Crossfire. Now, let me show you how many videos he didn't make any tutorials. Any good thing about, he didn't make any good videos about Dying Light 2. But he did make a negative review because they co-op was broken. And he kept saying co-op was broken. And he made it sure that he kept making clickbait titles. Dying Light 2 patch, did it fix the game? That's 1. That's 2. That's 3. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 videos of Dying Light. Every one of his videos is bashing games, talking about broken games, 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 bashing games and talking about broken games, bashing games and talking about broken games. But when it's a game that he likes, he shows his bias. Born to game. More like bias when a game that I like. All he did was praise the game, showing tutorials. But he's not going to make a video about how bad the frame rates are. But at least somebody I don't like, because he's a geek in his own self, and he was, peddling weak behind earpods, showing his bias until he was selling weak behind earpods that people already said that didn't work. But he says Elden Rings is terrible on PC.
Looking for the right menu.
Now, he made 2 videos of Elden Rings. In that other video, he talked about how bad the performance is. Now, let's go to not King Thrash, because King Thrash, he pretty much exposed the game because it's not as hard. ACG Elden Rings.
Now, leaping behind your back. But it's also the sense of scale here. Blundering giants, either solitary,
I'm not going to try that,
wandering around the game world, or their brethren that are locked into pack animal servitude by someone who drove a massive spike through their chest. So they
changed his review about Elden Rings because of the performance.
What's up, everybody? This is Garrick with ACG. This is
why I have more respect for him than any of these fake behind that care about gaming. This guy should be getting more views than he does. He should be one of the top guys because he does analysis. He analyzes a game world by walking in the game world and pretty much showing you wait. Walk the walk. He did it in Dying Light 2. How the world changes. Even before I got the game, based off his analysis of the game, I played around with the world for a week. I didn't even advance in the story. I played around with all the mechanics in the game, from the AI, them fighting each other, to me choosing to sit different side and seeing the camp with zombies in it, and seeing it the place is empty because I changed the story. So it did change the world, but nobody gives it credit for doing that. He did the same thing for Walking the Walk with Forbidden West, better than anybody else. And how much detail that they put in that game. You know the reason why he's not gonna do a walk the walk in he's not gonna do a walk the walk in Elden Rings? Because he know the backlash, and he know that Elden Rings don't have a lot of technical sound things in it. He knows that. And he doesn't want the negativity because he's still trying to grow his channel. That's one aspect that I don't like, because I want him to be honest. But he is honest. But I understand he doesn't want the negativity. And I give him more respect than anybody, like a skill up. When he even questioned about Cyberpunk, he didn't give Cyberpunk a good score. He's one of the respectable guys in the space, one of them. And he walks the walk. He walks inside the game. He sees what's changed in the world. And he does amazing job about games. But he pretty much talked about the performance. Even he talks about how the patch did terrible things to the console and the PC. But your boy, Born to Game.
Google Fi, a phone plan by Google. It's easy.
Born to Game has none of this. But his channel is based off people putting out bad video games and unfinished products. So just imagine, after this Elden Rings hype go down, he's going to go back to bashing other games. This is the reason why Yang Ye only review games that he know that everybody's gonna like. He didn't review Dying Light that I saw on his channel. He didn't review, I think, Forbidden West. Let me check, because I really don't watch him like that. Yang Ye.
Showing results for Yongya.
Don't talk like that. Dumbass voice. So here we go. He has one review about Elden Rings for the PC. He has no reviews for. Oh, he has one for Forbidden West, but he has no reviews for Dying Light, because it didn't matter, because he only go after the big fish, right? Let's see what people say about it. They made a good call in T-Mobile with Kojima. Okay, somebody who knows what they talking about, because that's what they did. T-Mobile with Kojima. It become a piece of benefit both veterans and tweaking what's it called, right? Okay. How are we going to stop supporting new ideas and just buy 1,000 on the market? Sorry, but the other way around. The engine is made by Gorilla and teamed up with Kojima. I think that he was roundabout blah 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 blowed away by superficial people. Tell me at least you tried it. And here we go. Them bashing the game because it's Sony. Bashing the game because they don't like it. I can go up and down the comments. And see how unfair they will treat other games compared to They purchased Elden Rings. So let's gamer 2323 and how he
My brothers and sisters, you
talked
are now
about
watching the Gamer 23.
Elden Rings.
My brothers and
So
sisters, you are now.
let's see parts.
Download the Domino's app today and become a piece of the.
I'm not even gonna risk it because the last time I got taken down by another YouTuber and I just played like a little small clip, and that's not one of his clips. The stream was entertaining. Let's see. Let's see what they say. So a lot of these people use the whole this is my favorite game of all time. This is my favorite game of all time. Everybody is overhyping this game as my favorite game of all time. 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 And you only played it once because it's a soul game. See, I point to my favorite games of all time as being games that I will go back to every single time. I've been playing Dishonored, the whole trilogy, Dishonored 1 and Dishonored 2, every single year, ever since 2017, when I got it. I played Grand Theft Auto 4 every single year ever since it came out. Well, no, every single year from 2008 to 2014. I was playing Grand Theft Auto 4. Games that are your favorite, games that are the greatest games of all time, no matter your situation, no matter how emotional you are, even if you lost a family member, or even if you feel in the dumps, you will go back to that game and play it, and it will pull you out the dumps. This not the best game of all time, because I know that half of these people who talk about they play soul games, and I actually question these people. I say, how many times you play your soul games? Or I don't have time for the soul games. Wait, but you said it's the greatest game of all time. Those your that could be your go-to games. My favorite games of all time is Crisis. All the Crisis games. I just ended the Crisis games, a part of my tech collection. That I'm playing a whole mass of future tech games for a perspective of future technology. But I ended the game and I want to go back to playing those games over again because I want the feel of the game again. Your favorite games of all time is games that you go back to all the time. Just like your favorite movie of all time. You watch some movies over and 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 you just don't get sick of them. But these games, these people keep using this favorite game of all time, favorite game of all time, favorite game of all time, and only plays it once. No map fatigue, no useless bloat, no hand holding. Where to go, level design out of the world. Oh, wow. So let's talk about no map fatigue. So they don't like maps. No useless bloated. So they don't like indicators. No hand holding. I agree with that because I don't like hand holding in game either. Nowhere to go. Level designs. It's the same shit. Enjoy. See, these are the same people. When we tell them not to play the games that we enjoy, they go and still bash it based off watching it on YouTube. But then they want you to play their games that they enjoy. And if you don't play it, you're going to get called names. I don't believe these words left my mouth, buddy. Yeah, look. And you have people here trying to say he admitted that Elden Ring is a masterpiece. Now, there's another YouTuber that I showed, King Thrash Gaming. He played Elden Rings. He did not level up. He beat a couple bosses without leveling up. And he said how easy the game was. Easy or skill, you decide. I choose winning after 10 times. Both pretty easy. The blah 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 blah. I jumped the most. I beat the game yesterday at 40 hours and the level 100. So you just get to gossip and rip. Unfortunately, the bosses get more insane after the duo. I was a 100% to finish this. So this is what I'm talking about, right? They think that they are part of this elite squad of video game people who play hard games and beat it one time. When old games were always hard. Because you couldn't save. Back in the day, you couldn't save in video games. You couldn't. You had to play every game straight through. Arcade games, you couldn't play. You had to pay to win. They were the old microtransactions of the past. But for some reason, we supposed to forget these kind of things because Elden Rings is the best game of all time. And we never played any hard game before. Because if we don't play Elden Rings, we are somehow not gamers and qualified to be gamers, right? See, this mindset that I'm seeing, this is the normal, this normalizing gaming now. Everybody is now praising one game because they think they're part of this club, and they're giving them a big ups of things because every other game doing blowing, right? I heard people say that Horizon Zero Dawn is a clone of Ubisoft. First of all, Horizon Forbidden West actually patched their game. It took them a week to patch their games. Ubisoft take 6 months to patch their games. I can attest to that. I was dumb enough in 2020, the pandemic was going on, to believe that Ubisoft changed its ways because of the stuff. And I thought they changed the Eternal stuff. Well, the game was broken. The sound was broken for 6 months. It took them 6 months to fix sound. Every single time they fixed the game, they broke it. I was a part of the whole thing to trying to see if they was going to fix Ghost Recon Breakpoint. And all they did was put in half-ass updates. But somehow, some way, you're comparing the cookie cutter bullshit that you see in Ubisoft games to Horizon Zero Dawn that has more detail in the game, and they're not bombarding you with microtransactions. See, I find it funny that they don't get praised. Games like Sony games don't get praised for not having microtransactions, but somehow a Souls game get praised for doing things that been a part of gaming in a long time. I mean, you can turn off the hubs and turn off the mini maps. You can do that in games, and also you can also discover things in the world. A lot of games put you in the world Instead of telling you an overall story, they make you go in there and search for the story. But a lot of you guys are too lazy to do it. But now a game does something different, and they design that game based off that. You're praising it like it's the second coming or something. Oh my god, they actually care about the gaming space. They actually make games for real gamers. And you know, they got an open world game that you can explore without all of the bloat and gaming mechanics that every other open world game. Okay, stop playing these games and stick on Souls. Stay on these games and stop playing other games then. Stay with these old ass games and let's, just like PC players, go play a 20-year-old game. Play Stalker for 20 years. Play Half-Life 2 for 20 years. If you don't like the games that's coming out right here, let us play them week behind games while you're sitting there in the comment section. Oh, this game is so boring. I don't like it. It's so weird. It's so loser. Huh? And then when YouTubers show the details in the game, then you start, oh my god, you know, let me try the game real quick. It's on sale, right? You try to force people to play the games you like, but then when everybody else got games that they love and they enjoy, you gotta open your mouth and say something. Oh, you got an opinion. Okay, we have an opinion too. But you can tell how much the space is full of people who have the same mindset. Because now Elden Rings is getting jerked off and sucked on. And once this Elden Ring stuff is over with, their new game gonna come out, and here they go. They're gonna bash the game. And if the game tries something new, they're gonna talk about it. Oh, wait, my bad. Dying Light 2 tried something new, and it got bashed for it because it didn't do what the last game did. Oh, wow. Wow. So, only Elden Rings can do something new. And other games try something new and you bash it. And you say you missed the old game. Oh, the first game was better than this. It should have kept this mechanic because I had fun with this old mechanic. Oh my god, they changed Elden Ring so much. They opened the world up. I can see everything. I can just go in the world and walk around and I don't have to. Are you serious? Acting like he's a soul god or some shit. It's their dude was getting smacked. All sentiments on my channel raw. I'm gonna beat this guy to it. He's health in the name of his health. I'm triggered, blah blah blah. Magnum, what's it called? I don't care. I only think I buff is my fair. I learned more skills. I don't think it's buff. I'm definitely not a skulls guy, laugh out loud, and I never said I wouldn't die. But I said I will beat the game without leveling up and upgrading weapons. I accomplished that. If you here to hate on then bounce. I never claimed to be a souls guy, but I was here to prove that I did what I said I did, and end up doubling in what I did. Don't come here and hate. Come here to share your accomplishments. Oh man. And this is the bullshit that you have. These are the ghost posts. Like, to all my normal viewers and all the people that if you're gonna watch it, the normal viewers, it's just me talking about something else outside of the Black Manosphere and all that crap. But it's in the gaming space too. But it's even worse in the gaming space because everybody like the team up now. I looked at the Reddit and you see a whole bunch of fanboys, trying to tell everybody to go out and spend their money on this game. And if you don't play this game, you're somehow a loser, and you need to put the controller down forever because gaming is not your thing, because Elden Rings is the best game of all time, and it should be sold. Somebody actually said this. Somebody said that Elden Rings these games like Elden Rings should be made all over, and everybody in the world will make this game. It will beat GTA. It will beat every single best game of all time. It will sell best of all time in every single category. And I said, are you kidding me? Souls has been on the market for years and it still haven't dwarfed anybody in sales like that. You trying to make a niche game into a commercial game. It's not a commercial game. It's a niche game that only a few niche people like, who blab about it being the best game of all time, and most people would not play this game. And the same little fans on there who talk about how good this game is will be the same ones who bash other people's gaming experience. And when everybody tries something new in their games, you're going to bash it and talk bad about it. So let's
I got him with the game.
so yeah. Elden Rings expose all the hypocrites in gaming. After this Elden Ring stuff is done, they're going to go right back into people's comment sections, bashing everybody else's game, until somebody makes a game for them, and then they're going to go and praise it, and they're going to try to tell everybody else what to do. This is the new age gaming. They hate on games that they don't like and they don't want to play. They will talk about your game like crazy instead of playing their own. And they will get mad that everybody else is having fun but them. So they'll be all in the comment sections talking trash. I can tell you right now, I am not under any Elden Ring sting of them playing the games. From the endings to the gameplay to none of it. I'm on review channels and I'm on channels that be talking about it and see if they saying something either biased or seeing something else. And I add my little comments. But I see these haters all under Red Dead Redemption comment sections, all under Horizon Zero comments. They under every single comments talking bad about a game where they don't belong. And then when Elden Rings come out, people who like other games are not saying anything about their piece of shit game because it ain't the best game of all time. But then they want to jump around and go tell you need to spend your money on the Elden Ring game. And if you're not Elden Ring games, if you beat 500 games in your whole entire life, that doesn't matter because you never beat Elden Rings or Souls games. Somebody said they had 1,000 games in their catalog and games they beat their whole life. I'm around 400. I think 400 or something. I think I gotta find it and update it too. I got 400 something games under my belt that I've ended and beat my whole entire life. That means I selectively went after certain games from Game Boy Advance, Dreamcast, Game Gear, Sega Genesis, Super Nintendo, NES, N64, PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, what was it? Never played any games on Xbox. Yeah. 500 games. Oh, GameCube. I got a GameCube game. I forgot. I ended Metal Gear Solid, the remake version. Almost 400 something games. But that doesn't matter because I haven't played sold games, so I'm not a good gamer. That's what they might gonna say to me. I am not a good gamer because you never beat soul game. You just been playing little kitty games. I've been playing games before you was born. But hey, I like the, that's kind of funny that a person who says they've been playing games all this time haven't played the catalog games I played, but somehow, some way, you're a better gamer than me because you played a bunch of niche games. Okay, sure. Sure. You played a bunch of niche games and you're a better gamer than I am. But if I put a game in front of you that had hard bosses like on Kingdom Hearts, their secret bosses are very, very hard. These same Soul fans will lose. Like I said, we living in a new age of gaming communism, anti-SJWs praising games. You know, these are the same anti-SJWs that was going around, bigging up Microsoft when they bought Activision. And then Activision Activision pulls we're not gonna make a game for 1 year after they got required by Activision. And everybody hate Sony so much they didn't want Call of Duty on their console. They didn't want Call of Duty on the console, so they was like, Sony won't get don't wait on Xbox, and they're gonna lose fans. Yeah, let's not forget that. Let's not forget all of the we're better than Sony. Oh my god. But Xbox still don't have any games right now released at all. And Sony just released another game, which was I think Turismo. And Xbox releases what? One game in like 4 or 5 years? 2 games, 3 games, or whatever. But hey, I know what it is now. You fanboys are always in numbers. See, unlike the Sony ponies, we're scattered. You have to come to the Sony ponies channels to talk crap. And then you got to do tactics like review bombing games and doing all this different stuff. And you Elden Ring fanboys, if I see any of you comments under any kind of I'm gonna, just like I did with not Last of Us, what's that game? Cyberpunk. Everybody was up there praising Cyberpunk. I called half of them out, most of them, because I didn't remember some of their names from like a couple years ago until I made like a little screenshot list. So, Elden Rings, I'm gonna have fun with y'all. And I'm gonna say, when you talk shit about a game later on, when God of War Ragnarok come out, I'm gonna say, go back to playing Elden Rings. Go back playing your precious Elden Rings. Get out of here. Get from our new game. So thank you for giving me something to use against you now. As soon as you talk crap about our game, I'm saying, you like Elden Rings, right? Okay, go back play it. Go ahead. Go back play it. It's just something so big. Play it 3, 4, 5,000 times. Go ahead. Spend 80,000 hours in that game. Leave us alone. Let us enjoy our stuff. Just like we let you piece of crap enjoy your Elden Rings. Go get out of here. Don't talk about God of War Ragnarok when it comes out. Stay away from our stuff.